It's November 1st, and I'm just going to go ahead and try and see how easy it is to grow a potato in a bucket. These videos are all over YouTube. These little babies are Yukon Gold, and I don't know what this one's called, but they're organic, so they already have a little tiny bud on them. Or chit, I guess, is what they're doing. They're chitting, believe it or not. So I'm gonna throw one of these in that bucket, and I'm gonna throw another one in the ground, and we're gonna see where they go. We are in the Pacific Northwest, and being November, it's gonna start raining every day, probably for months. First thing I'm gonna do is create some drainage in the bottom of the bucket. So this one is Miracle Grow container mix. It's got perlite, compost, and peat moss. Those are the three most popular viable potting ingredients. I was going to buy them separate, but then I saw this bag had everything in it, so that's what we're going to use. Alright, so I do know what this is. It's a red potato, and it's a product of Canada. It is organic, but we're in the Pacific Northwest. I'm just going to throw this one in the ground. First thing I'm going to do, dig a little hole. Yes, I'm digging with a rock. Piece of shale. Like I said, I just want to do this quick and easy. See what happens. If it works, it works. If it doesn't, I'm down one potato. This doesn't look like it's very... It's got a little bit of clay in it, so not sure how well this is going to work. But the topsoil is sand, so just mix it up, and I think it'll be fine. Throw Junior in there with chits pointed up, and it's probably not deep enough. I'll probably add a little pile on top, but go ahead and throw some sandy mix there. There. Got Yukon over here. We got red over there. Give it some time, maybe a month or so, see what happens. So last November, we planted potatoes in this bucket, and here it is, all grown up. It's, I believe, May 18th today, which is also the Mount St. Helens eruption anniversary date. But as you can see, it's grown up a lot. I've continuously added dirt, mulch, and some perlite, and so I'm going to dig down in there and see if we've got something to pull out. All right, so it's kind of comical. These things are really tiny. I think these are Yukon Golds, which are small anyway, but I could feel a bunch of them down around there about the same size, near probably about 2 inches from the bottom. And the soil feels not quite moist enough to me, so I'll probably start watering them a little bit more. Obviously, if I let them go a little bit longer and the tops die down, they'll be a lot bigger. But that's what you get from November to May. Very little effort. Obviously, there's probably, I felt, a whole bunch more about that size in there, but I don't want to mess with them until they're more developed. So I'm guessing there's probably 20 more in there at the bottom. So one more thing I wanted to point out were these smart pots here that I got on Amazon. I'll have a link at the bottom in the description, and you can peel this part up. It's Velcro, and pull your potatoes out from the bottom. That's the red potatoes that I pulled out from this one. Planted at the same time in November, and Another thing also is I've got yams going on in here, and then for potatoes you need a phosphorus fertilizer, as well as a lot of mulch. So basically since November I've been adding about 2 inches of mulch mixed with 4-way sandy mix, and then a layer of straw, and then so forth. Keep going, and as the plants grow you keep adding more soil, and that way the potatoes will fill up from the bottom. But I'll have links to the pots and the phosphate fertilizer. So in one of my other videos I also showed how to build the planter boxes here, and they're going pretty good. I've got a drip system in. Also, I've got this light. Since I started early in the season with seeds and starters, I bought this grow light on Amazon because our days are pretty short here in the Pacific Northwest until right about now, which is mid-May, and it extends the growing day by a few hours, but everything's going pretty good. So in the shed here I've got kind of a transition area where I do some starters and transplants. So I'll start them in the house, in the window, and these jalapenos and bells were just big enough to put in the smart pots today. So I mixed them up with a pretty good mix of vermiculite, mushroom mulch, and a 3-way mix. What else was there? There was also a peat moss. That's what I was trying to remember. But anyway, these lights, also on Amazon, I'll put the links in there. They work great. These really work great for starters inside the house, and I've got this timed watering device that means it's all hands off, and it hooks up into just a container like that. It's on a timer. These are the tomato plants, about a month behind the other ones, and then these I just bought at the nursery to have my wife put in her little herb garden. Anyway, please subscribe if you're interested, and follow the links to support my channel. Thank you.